Okay, so practice semester test. I believe our goal is to go through the last two problems, correct? I think we did two on, yeah, I think we got through number 9 yesterday, so we just have 10 and 11 today. So
Did I keep mine here?
yeah, I believe so. So let me take a look here. Okay, I'm gonna hand out your practice semester test.
No, I found mine.
Oh, never mind. Okay, now I got one here, so.
That's mine, probably.
There it is. There you go.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm smart. I'm a
Boy.
And I don't want
Okay.
to listen either.
Okay, give me your rulers, you guys will need those. Okay, we're gonna do book check-ins first. So if you have your book, empty it all out. I'm gonna call you up one at a time here.
What do you
Just
want?
turn it in, I'll just put it on my desk and open it up, okay?
Oh,
So Eric, you're first. Walk it up here and
4 y'all?
say it.
4?
Yeah.
I gotta go grab my meds.
Okay,
Completely
for
forgot.
that. Okay, you wanna grab the same as book 2?
Yes.
Perfect. Boom.
D11.
Boom. Okay, perfect, thank you. And I think I should have Connor should be coming in.
Yep.
We got Steven had his old book.
Which one? Okay.
There it is. Got it. So we're just waiting on
Canora. Canora. Hopefully it shows today.
What was that?
Hopefully it shows today.
Okay. So,
Ah.
actually, I think I have that book in my closet.
Number 18?
You must have turned that in. Pretty sure I just saw that number.
Come on now.
Oh, it's 19, okay, practice guys out. Practice guys out. We'll go through a couple problems here and then we're done. So pretty easy. Is there any questions with the 3 that we did last week? We did, so on Friday I was gone, but I had the video here. Hopefully this will push play. We did 7, 8, and 9, right? You had to measure this in millimeters. This one you had to find the perimeter, so you had to add up the walls. And then we had to find volume of this one, where you take the length times width and height. We did that on Friday, right? All right, today we're gonna finish with these two. These we have to be able to measure with a ruler in inches. So that's something that I'm gonna pop up on the board here. I want to talk about inches. Okay. All right, so have the rulers out. You need to be the side with the rulers, please. All right. Let's pop up a ruler here so I can show you an example.
Maybe.
I wonder if I have one still.
Yeah, I know I got this one more.
What?
I said I got this one.
All right.
You can make that joke no more.
Bottom.
All right, perfect.
It should go to this go.
Okay, so this is a picture that I've shown over the previous years. I must not have kept it,
Our grade?
but this is something that I want to talk about. All right.
Short, tall.
Okay. This is how we can read a ruler. So let me get rid of that.
Kind of in the tall range, just so.
All right. Let me make this bigger. All right. This is how you read a ruler. Okay. This is if you're looking at the U.S. customary sign. Now this is blown up really big. So if you're looking at your normal ruler, right? where, you know, this is 0 inches. Then I believe it says, like on your rulers, it says like school smart right here. School smart, and then it's got like a 1 over here, correct?
What's your last name?
Okay, is that right?
Yes.
You guys have it? Okay, so here's the idea. If you were to look down the ruler, okay, look down like past, you know, 0 past 1, and eventually, you know, the ruler goes this way, and then you eventually had 1 and you had 2, and there's a bunch of marks in the middle, and they're all different sizes, correct? So here's the idea. The middle one and this is the easiest way I can read it. This is the half marker. How I know that? So it doesn't matter where you're at. Let's say we're down the road at 4 and 5, okay? Let's say you're down the road on your ruler. This one's half. Here's the reason why. It's the first big marker out of 2 big markers that will get you to the next number. So look at this. So if you guys are watching,
Yep.
this is the first out of 2 big markers that gets me to the next number. Because this marker and this marker. Now, when you get down to the smaller markers, now this is the first out of 4 markers. This is going to be the second out of 4. This is the third out of 4. And then you get to 4 out of 4. Okay, do you see how this works?
Yeah.
So when you get down to the next numbers, that the bottom number doubles and the top numbers are always odds. So when we get down to the next round, this is going to be 1/8. This will be 2/8. This will be 3/8. 4/8. 5/8. 6/8 and 7/8. And that's what they're trying to explain here. They're showing these markers. Now this is blown up really big compared to your ruler. And then the last one is the one that had 16ths. Now I actually have a ruler at the front of the desk here that I have. It's an architectural rule. It actually goes past the 16th markers. But notice the 16ths. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. It goes up by odd numbers on the top. The bottom numbers, as you go down to the smaller markers, the bottom numbers always double. We started with the biggest marker was half, then I went 4ths, then 8ths, and then 16ths, and then we go past that. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a stick of a very particular size. Okay? So does everyone understand the marking system, how this works? Okay, there's a lot of marks. Okay, so let's go to the first problem that's on your practice guide. So let me turn to that. Here we go. Da-da-da-da. Here we go. All right, so it's 6 1/4, right? This is the problem we have to draw. And we have to use it in inches. So we've done this a long, long, long time ago. Now, what 6 1/4 actually stands for, it stands for this. 6.25. That's what it stands for. Okay, so what you're going to do is I want you to make a mark on your paper right here. Make a mark. Okay, and start really close to your numbers because this is going to be pretty far. What I want you to do is put your ruler so that 0 is lined up right here with that mark that you just made with your ruler. So put your marker down on your paper. Okay, so you're going to line up 0. And what you're going to do is you're going to count up until we get all the way to the number 6 on your ruler for 6 inches. And then guess what marker we have to go to? What marker do we have to go to after it?
And 4th.
The 4th. That is it's not the biggest marker in the middle, but it's the second biggest marker in front of it. So you're going to find 6, and you're going to look for 6 1/2, which we're not going to, but find the next big marker that's in front of it, which is 6 1/4. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to draw a line that goes to 6 1/4, and I want you to draw that. Okay, so put your ruler down, and we're gonna actually measure it. And I'm gonna walk around and see how well you've actually efficiently measured. So draw a line that connects all the way there. Use your straight edge. All right. Let's see if it was somewhat accurate. So we lined up 0. You're not even close. Just look at this. Here's 0, right? 6 inches is way down the road. You have to find 6, and then you have to go to the first marker past that, the first big marker. This is half, that'd be the 4th, so you have to draw a line all the way there. Okay.
Zach
That's why I said you
Eichman,
start really
please come to
close.
the office. Zach Eichman.
There you go. So make sure you know where you're starting, and then draw a line and draw it pretty accurate right at the very end. Just don't. Just go below and draw it. Draw all the way to 6. Keep going, keep going, keep going. 6, and now go to the first big marker after it. That's that one. No, first big marker, that would be this one right there. this one, not back, that one. That marker, that's the fourth. Boom, put your mark on your paper and then draw the line that goes to them. Boom, that's what I'm looking for. You have to be within that first marker. Yeah, all right, that's good. Yeah, okay, we got that? Now, so on the next one, he wants you to go to 4.75, right? That means you're going to 4 and 3/4. 0.75 is 3/4 as a fraction. So again, your calculator can actually do 0.75. It can actually calculate that as a fraction for you. Again, the major ones you're going to need to know: 0.25, 0.5, which is half, and then 0.75, which is 3/4. Okay, so
Would that be the
so-
first small marker?
that's the third big marker on past that. Okay, so let's see, you need a ruler. So Connor, we're just drawing those last couple of rounds. So on Friday we did 6, 7, 8, or sorry, 7, 8, and 9. So today we're doing 10, 11, and this should be our last two today.
Can you come see if I'm
So.
right?
Okay, so again, we're going to the third big marker out of the 4 big markers on that thing. So third big mark. So,
Oh, so that'd be
So is it closer to
that
7?
one.
yeah, it's close to 7. So that would be that marker right there. That marker. You just went to 4, you gotta go to that one. That's the big marker.
So I don't keep drawing this one.
4, right, no, you went way past it.
Oh, I forgot I had these in there.
Alright, let's see again. Put your ruler back up there, let's double check. Line up to 0. Oh, yeah, there you go, that's good. Okay. Alright, let's see your 4 and 3/4. So you're on 4 and 3/4.
Oh, down here?
Yep. Because that's your 4.75, that's the number 11 problem.
4 and 3/4.
Yep, that means 0.75. Okay, so let's see you draw that one. So that's you're going past 4, you're going to the third marker, past 4, the third big marker, I should say. So go to 4, and now go to the third big marker after the big markers.
Closer to 5?
Yeah, close to 5. Boom, that's it. Yep, that's right there, and that's where you're gonna stop. Okay, makes sense? You have to be within the certain hash mark. So I'm gonna be asking for quarters, halves, or 3/4.
So
That'd
we
be
can't
something.
use this on semester test?
That one you can, but those are for angles. We're not drawing angles here. So those are beyond, what was that one problem you had to draw? Problem number 6, you had to draw an angle or something
Yeah.
like that? I'll need those. Okay, any questions with any of the problems on the practice guide that we potentially talked about on Friday, or we talked about
Can you
on,
zoom that
yep.
in?
So, yeah, kind of, we did book check-ins right in the beginning, so you'll need to take the cover off of your book. Make sure you empty it out so you don't have your protractor in there. So-
Protractor was never, yeah, with some protractor in it.
Good. Okay, now practice guide, what do they do?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. You will not get them back. So when you turn them in, you're not gonna keep them to study. So what you're gonna have to do tonight is maybe take a picture or write down on a piece of paper, but they're due tomorrow in class.
Oh, the protractor?
Yep. Perfect.
Oh, you reuse these every year?
No, the protractors you can keep, the practice guides you won't. I'll be taking your practice guide. All right. That's it for today. That's all I want to do. I just want to cover up the next 2. You have the rest of time today to study for your semester test. My semester test is tomorrow and Wednesday. Questions?
I wasn't here for number 4.
4? Okay,
I
let's
caught
talk
up
about.
on the rest of them.
Okay, let's talk about number 4. Okay, so number 4 is that the vocab one?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back and take a look at that one.
I am so tired today.
All right. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the big vocab one. All right. So on this one, what we talked about was on the vocab. The words I could put any of these words, okay? Or I could use any of the shapes we talked about, like pendecagon, dodecagon, quadrilateral, rhombus. I can put any of those. So you got to look in your book, or study those words that we talked about previously. You can even go back and watch my videos and stuff and see all the PowerPoints. I'll be posting those videos from last week. I took them all offline Friday, so you'd only see Friday's video, but I'll just hit publish and they'll be all back on my website.
Sweet.
So that way you can kind of study the review guides, because I think we started reviewing last Wednesday. So I have this on the video from Wednesday, so it'll be online tonight, so if you need to watch it again. But here's what I did. So on
Or,
Wednesday, or should say Tuesday last week, we went through these.
do you have any more book check-ins today?
Yes. The rest of classes.
Ooh.
Alright. So what I did is I went through this and I just said the definitions out loud, and you had to go find the word and then write it down right here. Okay? So I'm going to say these definitions one more time for you so you can have it. Okay? Ready to go? Okay, the word point. So go find it out here. It is a position in space labeled with a capital letter. Write the word point there. Okay? It's pretty easy. Okay. All right. Next, the word ray. The word ray. It is a
Why are you
type
making
of
shit
line.
like that?
No.
All right. It is a type of line that has one endpoint and extends in one direction without limit. So it's a line that goes in one direction and has an endpoint on the other. That is a ray. So you want to write that word right there. A line that goes in one direction and has an endpoint on the other. It's a ray.
I was about to write a line too.
Okay. All right. Good so far? The next word, the word line. It is a geometric figure that extends in both directions without limits. It has no endpoints. So it's a figure that extends in two directions and it has no endpoints. That's a line. Vertex. A vertex is an endpoint of a geometric figure. It's where the intersection point of things, but it's the endpoint of a geometric figure. That is a vertex. Okay? Alright. The word plane is a flat surface that extends in all directions. That is a plane. Alright, next. A line segment. A line segment is a geometric figure that's a type of line that contains two endpoints and all points in between. It's a line or a geometric figure that has two endpoints and all points in between. That is a line segment. It's a geometric figure with two endpoints and all points in between.
With 2 points?
Two endpoints and all points in between.
And that's a line segment?
Yep.
Here a line segment.
Let's look at the normal schedule.
Alright. Acute angles are angles that are less than 90 degrees. Less than 90, so it would be an angle between 0 and 89.9 repeating. Alright, we're good?
Yep.
Alright, collinear points are points that are found on the same line. Points on the same line. That's collinear. Perpendicular. Perpendicular is an angle that it's the intersection point of two geometric objects that form an orthogonal angle. So it's intersection of two geometric figures or two objects that form an orthogonal angle. That's a perpendicular. Okay. Now where the word orthogonal comes in, it was a fancy word for 90 degrees. It's used for vectors. That's why. Vector's a type of, it looks like a ray, but it's something that has direction and an angle. Alright, straight angle. So Sammy, still good? Alright. A straight angle, exactly 180. That's a straight angle. intersection. It's the point where two geometric objects cross. The crossing of two geometric objects.
That's intersecting.
Yep, that's an intersection. I've heard that word described as like the point where it's like the intersection is the point that two geometric objects share, and that's where they cross. All right, obtuse.
Black
Obtuse.
Ops 4 multiplayer gameplay.
Larger than 90, smaller than 180. So I think the book says it's between 90.001 and 179.9 repeating. That is obtuse.
Which one was that?
Obtuse. Between 90 and 179.9. It's bigger than the right, smaller than straight. That's how I word it. All right, next one. A right angle, exactly 90. Now that could be controversial because perpendicular means the same thing, but perpendicular is used for when things intersect, they touch. But right angle is exactly 90. Same as perpendicular, same as orthogonal. They all mean 90. Reflex angle is anything bigger than 180. So anything larger than 180, greater than 180. And parallel. That should be the last word. You should know this one pretty well. Parallel is two lines that do not intersect. That's parallel.
Okay, that's
Okay, now remember, the words that could be there. It could be any of the shapes, it could be any of these words, it could be any of the types of triangles or quads. We've had a lot, so just be careful. All right, there you go. Semester test is tomorrow. Remember, practice guides need to be turned in tomorrow. You will not get them back.
okay.
All right, let me close this out. All right, there we go.